There I was, simply trying to watch Commander Void's The Literal Death of Magic the Gathering meme for the 45th time when all of a sudden I realized that there was new news on Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition. It's time to talk about the sales. It doesn't look good. Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat. Hello and welcome to the day. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Jake, and welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. Today, we are talking about Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition, and no, this is not the end of the story. I'm sure that you are ready for us to be at the end. We have some speculation. It is rumored. We have numbers on how the Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary sale went for Wizards of the Coast, what product went where. We're going to get into all of that, and then at the end of the video, we're going to talk about what we got right and what we got wrong about this product. So don't miss that. We don't need to spend an exorbitant amount of time on this, but I want to cover what we know. Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition, an unprecedented product with an unprecedented price, with unprecedented business tactics trying to push the product to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And it has been a controversial product to say the least. I think that goes without saying at this point. And it does appear that voting with the wallet actually did something. Hasbro has been pushing Wizards of the Coast to the brink to continue making product and better product and taking variants and pushing those to the brink and making every new card type that comes out just kind of exhausted. Well, with this product, it was way different. This is reprinting of reserve list cards, even though the back of the card is different. It very much feels like Wizards of the Coast has been trying to cash in on their biggest whale product ever, which are the original cards from 93, you know, Black Lotus, the Power 9, the Dual Lands, all of the fun stuff, Wheel of Fortune, among many other cards. So let's get into what we know today. If you enjoy these videos, click like and subscribe. That's a great way to support the channel with just the click of a button. Magic the Gathering 30th Anniversary Edition. So here we are over at Alpha Investments, and if you haven't watched this video, definitely go get Rudy's take. We're going to dig in just a little bit deeper because we know that Rudy's just going to stand in front of this wall and rant. So while he does have some very good takes about what happened, we need to go over and we need to at least find the material and track down where this came from. So go watch this video for sure. I'll put a link in the cards. We are over on MTG Finance. Wow, I remember being in this subreddit when it was sub 50k members, maybe less. I would have to go back a couple years and see where it's at, but now 103,000 members over here in MTG Finance, and this is a spot where we are going to learn that it appears maybe a hacker or an internet sleuth, somebody was able to track down some data, and we are going to go through some comments, but first I want to go over to Twitter and I want to take a look at what we know. So this is from MTGO Saleseo, S-A-L-S-E-O. It says, I intercepted communication, which I'd like to share here before the world finds out tomorrow. The MTG 30 sales data is in. I can confirm that. There was a max global limit of 14,188 units available for the sale. The US, 11,898 max unit limit, but only 1932 successful sales, 2477 attempts at sale. The United Kingdom, 507 max unit limit, but only 24. Sheesh. 24 sales in the UK. 50 attempts at sale. And then in the EU, 1785 max unit limit, but only 283 successful sales. 533 attempts at sale. Let's take this into account. This is speculation. I want to see what some people have to say over on Reddit about this. See if there's any good takes in the comments. Total sales 2,239 or 15.7% of the sellout figure. Beep boop. That is remarkably low. This makes me think that when we were able to get in line easily the day of the stream and the day that the product went live, we can put that in the cards too. You can take a look at that video if you want to see how that sale went. If you missed that, definitely go check that out. This is pretty crazy, man. They did not do very well. Not even TARDIS or John Wayne buying all of those boxes is going to be enough to prop this one up. And then it means that Wizards of the Coast has a lot of this product waiting in the wings. If this is true, they just have a ton of it and they don't know what to do with it. So back over here on Reddit, let's cruise some comments and see if we get anything good. It is worth noting that the Reddit post here, this was 3 hours ago. It just turned over to 5 hours ago. It appears this tweet happened. Actually, let's check the tweet one more time, the time, just to be sure. All right, so this was at 11:14 a.m. on December 2nd, 2022. That is today. So that was about 5 hours ago as of right now. So yeah, Reddit is correct with this. So let's take a look at some comments. Sadly, with how much money they made off what sold, it doesn't even matter. Well, I don't agree with that at all. Not even a little bit. They destroyed a ton of customer goodwill for an amount of revenue that won't even move the needle for Hasbro. Yeah, it appears that Hasbro at this point is grasping at straws and they've reached into their final billions as their stock is taking an absolute dump in 2022. I mean, let's be honest, the SPY has been really bad this year as well. We're down essentially $70 from where it was last year. This does not look good for Hasbro. I've definitely switched my personal mentality from only proxy things I'm considering buying to fuck it, proxy everything. And I for sure am cutting way back on buying sealed product, and that is pretty much solely because of this. I know I'm a drop in the ocean as far as their revenue, but I also know a lot of people are making the same decisions. Yeah, like I said earlier, this voting with the wallet thing, at least on this product, I think Hasbro is learning a hard lesson here. I actually do. They're going to go back and they're going to be like, okay, what went wrong? Maybe we should actually listen to Wizards of the Coast. That is pending Wizards of the Coast gave them pushback on that, which is speculation. Wizards of the Coast could have been like, look, we can't do this product. And they're like, do it. It's going to make a lot of money. And now maybe Hasbro's learning a lesson. But the alternative is, you know, it's possible that both of them were just like, yeah, let's get this out there and see how it does. Well, it doesn't look like it did really well. And even though there's a lot of whales out there that are like, well, I got mine and I have tons of boxes. Yeah, you have tons of boxes of a product that not a lot of people want. So you're going to have to push that to other whale collectors that are like, ooh, I can't wait to get my hands on the 30th anniversary edition that Wizards of the Coast has a ton of product of back at the warehouse. How are they going to dole it out? What's going to happen? Like, what is their strategy moving forward? I wouldn't want to have a small position of something that Wizards of the Coast has a large position of, but that's just me. I know that some people like this product and I hope it works out for those people. It is what it is at this point. I said this in a different video. If the product was good, the product would be good. It wouldn't take a mountain of people trying to prop it up and make videos about how great it is and how certain cards are going to be worth $1,000 that are outside the Power 9. The product would speak for itself and people would line up to buy it, like we've seen in past sales that have had a lot of demand. All of the Mythic Edition products, for example, the 30th Anniversary Countdown Kit, San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, all of that kind of stuff, where high demand, it always sells out, it always goes quickly, and most of the time, there's some sort of internet problem. This product, it had no internet problem. You could get right in and buy it, which for a lot of players, people that have been there before, collectors were like, whoa! That is way different than a product that has a lot of demand. You have a lot of people going home angry. You have a lot of angry tweets that are like, oh, Wizards of the Coast, I wasn't able to get my product because of your terrible internet infrastructure. None of that for MTG 30th Anniversary Edition. And it's funny when you're saying that and you're saying it as a negative as far as how the product sale went. Assuming any of this is true, this one failure isn't going to cause them to correct course, at least not to the level I am hoping. This specific product not selling out will probably convince them not to sell 4 booster packs of fake cards for $1,000 again, but that's about it, I'd bet. I feel like that's the whole point though, right? It's like they won't send out a product like this again. So saying it's not going to course correct seems like, I don't know, like you kind of negate your own statement here. If the rumor turns out to be factual, then I'm with you 100%. Only an uprising of shareholders in unity could cause them to correct course now, in my opinion. Yeah, possibly. I mean, if I were a Hasbro shareholder and I were looking at the stock price this year, though, I would be just like, well, I'm a bag holder. But the economy does need to recover, and I imagine that the billion-dollar companies will recover with the economy. That's what typically happens. Even with 2.2 million worth sold, I doubt they consider this a success. They probably broke even or made a very small profit at best, which would be a failure of a product. Right, exactly. Assuming this leak has any legitimacy in the first place, of course. Well, I mean, here's the thing, and this takes us to the point where we'll go ahead and talk about what we got right and what we got wrong, which is, kind of my thoughts on this moving forward. We covered a lot of this. Yu-Gi-Oh coverage and all of the sale itself, all of the thoughts that we've had on the product, the reactions to the 30th anniversary openings that we saw from the Magic 30 VIP badge holders that popped up early on. A lot of you have been with us along the way, so thanks so much for hanging out and watching. If you have enjoyed these videos, definitely subscribe. There are people that are of the mindset that because it was a $250 pack, that the stuff that comes out of it should be expensive. It's like when you go out and you buy a more expensive camera. You're buying it because the components in the camera are going to be better. But with this, it's like, it's saying, because I'm spending $250 on this booster pack instead of $25, which would be a collector booster, or $4, which would be a draft booster or set booster, it's saying because it's $250, the cards should be expensive by default. And I think that that's kind of where some people have gone wrong with this product. So if all of this is true, let's talk about what we got right and what we got wrong. We need to remember that this is speculation, and this could be a shit post on Reddit, of a shit post on Twitter, of somebody just pulling a bunch of extremely specific numbers out of their ass. But we're going to find out over the next couple days how this shakes out, I'm sure. And we are going to be monitoring this closely to see if we get any more accurate information or any sort of hint from Wizards of the Coast themselves on Twitter or any other source. Let's talk about the things that we got right about this product and the things we got wrong about this product, and what could lead us to believe that what information that we are seeing here is actually true. We've speculated on some things as Wizards of the Coast has had some unusual business practices with MTG 30th Anniversary Edition. And the first thing that we should say that we were right about is that the push to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon players does appear to be desperate. And it would align with the thought that if they did not have a lot of big sales for this product, it would make sense to push it to other TCGs. The next thing we were right about is the ease of purchase the day of the sale. It was very easy to get in line. I waited 3 minutes of a 9-minute queue to get in line, and after the first 15 minutes of the product being live, all the way up until it was no longer available for sale, you could get instant queues to get in line to buy the product. This is unlike anything that we've seen from MTG sales in the past for limited drops outside of Secret Lair that have actual demand. Countdown kit, Mythic Edition products, Comic-Con products, that kind of thing. And another thing that we speculated on that we would probably be right about, if these numbers are true, is the fact that there were so few active listings after the sale. After Mythic Edition sales and after Countdown Kit confirmations the day of the sale, you see tons of people in droves head over to eBay. There will be hundreds of listings. In the video that Joel and I did, there were so few listings, I believe there were less than 10 the day of the sale on eBay of people trying to flip this product, which points to the fact that there just was not any demand. So even though there are people that are trying to flip the product into FOMO, there just isn't that much FOMO to flip the product into. Now let's go ahead and talk about what we got wrong.